if you like to do. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Niti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today we are beginning the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Brilliant as the sun, a retelling of Srimad Bhagavatam, the beautiful science of God. Canto 5, the universal order by Krishna Dharma and Chintamani Dhamma Dasi. So these are the contents. We will study about King Priyavrata and his great glories, King Agnidhara, King Nabhi, Rishabhadev also appears, and the sons of Rishabhadev and Rishabhadev's adventures of King Bharat.
कोई रश नहीं है, मैं रात को करूंगी.
And then we study Jadabharata, King Rahugana, and then Sukadeva's example of Bharat means India, and King Priyavrata's descendants. Many important topics will come here. Jambudvipa, the whole description of the world, and this is being built here in TOVP. Yeah. Then about river Ganges and Jambudvipa residents' prayers, and more about the Bhumandala and Bharatavarsha and the sun's motions, the motions of the planets, the cosmic dolphin, subterranean heavens. Wow. Looking forward for that. The glories of Lord Ananta. And, in that part it comes about how Anantadev says, even thousands of mouths is not enough to glorify the Lord. Like that. That's why he has so many mouths, Anantadev, so that he can glorify him. Like that, okay? So this was going to be the exciting journey into the depths of Srimad Bhagavatam. And we will start with... should we read this? This is nice introduction. Yeah, a foreword. So this foreword is written by Sachinandan Maharaj. So nice. So let's start with that. Who likes to start reading?
Mataji, can I start?
Yes, please.
Forward. As Krishna Dharma's and Chintamani Dhamma's retelling of the Srimad Bhagavatam continues, we have reached Canto 5. This canto opens with important lessons learned from the lives of great devotees who are placed by the Lord's will into extraordinary circumstances. First, we hear about King Priyavrata, the eldest son of Swayambhuva Manu and a powerful ascetic who ruled the earth on the request of his father and Lord Brahma. Through his narrative, we learn that devotional service to Krishna and not detachment from matter is the soul's supreme activity. For Priyavrata left a life of austerity in the Himalayas and became king in order to please Lord Krishna. This tenet that bhakti reigns supreme over all other spiritual practices is the main theme that runs consistently through the pages of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It surfaces clearly in the teachings of King Rishabhadeva, to his 100 sons and is displayed in the life of his foremost son, King Bharata. No one can be unmoved hearing how Bharata goes from king to renunciant and then onward through two more births, one as a deer and the next as the silent yet fully realized Jada Bharata. When Jadabharata finally speaks, he does so to the arrogant king Rahugana and turns his mind. He expands on the sublime teachings of his father, Rishabdev, from 3 lives back. How does he remember? By the Lord's grace that stayed with him despite 2 changes of body. It is here where I would like my readers to pause for a moment and appreciate the teaching of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is called the Amala or Spotless Purana. The Bhagavatam never deviates from the main and only purpose of life, to increase our love for Krishna. As Srila Prabhupada said so nicely, our main business is to enhance our Krishna consciousness. Room Conversation in Hawaii, 1975. Srila Prabhupada considers anything else to be a dangerous waste of the vital energy of human life. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur expressed a similar mood in the 9th chapter of his Jaiva Dharma and points out the dangers of pursuing knowledge of the material world that excludes Krishna. Advaita Dasa, I repeat, human life is short. Therefore, like the wayfarer at the inn, the jiva must diligently prepare for spiritual realization during the travels of his limited lifespan. It is foolish to waste time trying to improve arrangements at the inn during one's short visit, without concern for one's destination. If we wastefully spend more and more time pursuing material knowledge, less time is left for spiritual realization. After describing King Bharata's 3 lives, the narration shifts to the universe. King Parikit asked the narrator of the Bhagavatam, Shukadev Goswami, to describe the 7 islands of Bhumandala, which was created by the powerful King Priyavrata. Parikit also asked a second and most thought-provoking question. How can we perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the feature he uses to pervade the universe? These are his words. When the mind is fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his external feature, made of the material modes of nature, the gross universal form, it is brought to the platform of pure goodness. In that transcendental position, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva, who in his subtler form is self-effulgent and beyond the modes of nature. O my Lord, please describe vividly how that form, which covers the entire universe, is perceived. Srimad Bhagavatam 5.16.3. Inspired by these 2 questions, Sukadev Goswami launches into a section of the Bhagavatam that is considered by some the most difficult or daunting part of the entire scripture. But it does not have to be that way if we understand Shukadev's unique approach. With his pure transcendental vision, the great narrator explains both the structure of the universe as he perceives it and the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by which he supports and is present throughout material existence. Shukadeva's answers to these questions continue until the end of that canto. True to his main thrust, Krishna is to be glorified as the focal point of the Bhagavatam. Shukadeva weaves in the beautiful narratives and prayers by the various residents in the universe, even as he describes it. With this, he carries his hearers to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who will later appear free from any coverings in the 10th canto. Srila Prabhupada represents Srila Sukadev Goswami's perspective with a deep point. Our hearts are meant for the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This means that one should be fully Krishna conscious, thinking of Krishna as he himself advises, man mana bhavo mad bhakto madhyagi mam namaskuru. This should be our only business. Srimad Bhagavatam 5.1.38 purport. On another occasion, Srila Prabhupada told an older disciple specifically about the 5th canto. The stress is on devotion, not cosmic geography. The Great Transcendental Adventure, Kurmadasa, Chapter 10. Let us appreciate this devotional perspective, which goes right to the spiritual essence and does not waste time with any diversions into various aspects of material knowledge. That is dealt with fully in other parts of the Vedic scriptures for those who are determinedly needly interested. However, the Bhagavatam has another purpose. It shows the Supreme Lord and His will behind all cosmic activities. And let us also appreciate just how the Bhagavatam conveys its message. Jiva Goswami quotes an amazing verse. Veda Puranam Kavyam cha Prabhur Mitram Priyayeva cha Bodhayantiti hi Prahustrivrad Bhagavatam Punaha. The Vedas, Puranas, and poetic works, Kavya, instruct one like a master, friend, or beloved, respectively. But Srimad Bhagavatam teaches in all three ways, quoted in the Tattva Sandarbha, Anu 26. Sometimes the Bhagavatam will speak in an authoritative voice. It is like this, do this, etc. At other times, it speaks to us like a friend using stories, reason, and deep insights. And yet, at other times, it speaks to us in a way that awakens loving devotional feelings. This makes the Bhagavatam so absolutely appealing for the intellect, mind, and heart. Without further ado, I encourage now all the readers to dive deeply into this engaging and evocative volume of the Brilliant as the Sun series and feel bhakti arise in their hearts. And I pray that Krishna Dharma and Chintamani Dhamma will finish all the 12 cantos.
Oh my God, I love this one. Madeka Bandhu, Matsangi, that point here. How Srimad Bhagavatam sometimes is authoritative, sometimes it's like a friend, sometimes it's like wise person, and sometimes it awakens loving devotion. That is so true. So true. I love that. I love this forward. Okay. Thank you so much for reading this. And can we have the honor of maybe Rasastali Mataji? Would you like to read the...
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mataji, here it says like that, like Priyavarta was the son of Manu, right? Wasn't like Dhruva's father Uttanpad also like how is that? Like I was trying to understand. Like they both
Uttanpad?
are brothers.
Yeah,
Are they?
brothers.
Acha, acha. Okay.
Okay,
Because that time they don't mention about King Priyavarta, right? In that when they're
true.
talking about that
Yeah.
lineage, and then
Sometimes,
suddenly
yeah,
that's
you see, one thing very important to know is that Bhagavatam is not chronological. It doesn't go, it's not like a history book which tells you exactly, in 1970 this happened, and then 1971 this happened. And, it doesn't. Sometimes, like even about Daksha, some other chapter it will mention, right? Rajeshwari Radhika Mataji often brought up, like the other time also. Is she here? Yeah, she's here. You remember, Mataji, you were asking about somebody. Is this the same person? So Bhagavatam is like, is not just some ordinary history book, which is like super chronological. It's very kind of mystery. That's why it's a mystery, and no wonder it's called the Amala Purana, and it's among all the 18 Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam is the, the crust jewel. It's the most esoteric. That's the word, actually. Esoteric. The most esoteric. So some people may look for information. See, Mahabharata is written differently. Mahabharata is more chronological. It comes. Of course, when Pandavas are in exile, Narad Muni comes and quotes so many stories. He brings past this, that. But the whole Mahabharata is written in a very organized chronological order. So Vyasadev had a very strategic plan with Mahabharata, how to present it, how to make it. It was written to appease certain kinds of people and their minds, and people like chronology. But Srimad Bhagavatam is written from the heart of Vyasadev. It is not written from his brain, whereas Mahabharata is written from his brain. So here you will find the emotions churning. The purpose is not so much information based, it's transformation based. Mahabharata is a little bit more information based, So that's why he was dissatisfied. After writing Mahabharata and all the Vedas, Vyasadeva was not feeling fulfilled. No wonder, right? No wonder he wasn't feeling fulfilled. Same thing for us. We may study Mahabharata, Ramayana, and everything, but there is still that the devotee side of us feels empty. So Bhagavatam has that capacity. That's why, if you ask why, it's because that's the reason why it's not mentioned like that. Plus, yeah, you saw that contents, what do you call it, appendix of the previous chapter we saw yesterday. How many names, how many genealogical, the tables, who are the sons and then their sons and then their grandsons. Even within our own relatives, we will not know how many brothers they had, who are all the children and their children. So many, right? So Bhagavatam is not focused on keeping the tabs of lineage names in the proper order. That's not the purpose of it. That's why it is not mentioned anywhere. But it is mentioned, actually. It is mentioned, but it won't come exactly in the same chapters. Actually, it was mentioned in the fourth canto. They are both brothers. Okay. Okay, Rasistali Mataji, please start with the introduction. Thank you.
Okay. Introduction. In this sixth volume of Brilliant as the Sun, we present the entire fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It shows us how Krishna's insuperable will perfectly orders the creation, placing us in appropriate situations corresponding to our desires and deserts. We hear of the mighty king Priyavrata, who divided the earth into its various continents, and of King Bharata and how he achieved spiritual perfection over 3 births, one of which was a deer. We also hear the great sage Shukadeva Goswami explain the structure of the cosmos, giving detailed descriptions of other planets, both heavenly and hellish. As with previous volumes, we have employed poetic license to dramatize parts of the narrative, hoping to enhance the reader's ability to better understand the flow and intent of the story. Our primary source material was again the work of our teacher, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the commentaries of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, a great saint in Prabhupada's perceptional line. We have also had access to the commentaries of other great acharyas, some of whom we reference in our notes. You can read this volume as a standalone, but it would be helpful to begin into with Canto 1 and work systematically through the cantos, as the Bhagavatam itself recommends. We also recommend that for a deeper understanding of the text, you consult Prabhupada's scholarly translation and commentary. Indeed, our chief aim with our writing is to stimulate interest in his work, as the Bhagavatam needs to be heard from a self-realized soul, and we make no claim to have such a status. Thus, we fall at the feet of our esteemed master and present this humble effort for his pressure, hoping for his divine mercy and blessings. Om Tat Sat.
Jai. Beautiful, wonderful. I love this introduction. So some of you ask, right, where does it come from? How does it work? So this is what they do. Sometimes Prabhu in other cantos, he also connected with other Puranas. So sometimes you'll find some little information like Devahuti, Kapila and all. He found some information from other Puranas. And then he took some information from there. So they do a very crafty job, very artistic job of retelling of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so Rukmini Pramataji.
King Priyavata's wondrous activities. The first light of dawn appeared. Shanaka made his way toward the river. The air was filled with the murmured chants of thousands of sages also heading for the river to take their baths. Some were already immersed waist deep in the cool waters, their eyes closed as they inhaled the sacred Gayatri mantra. Clad only in a loincloth, Shanaka waded out to join them. As he dipped beneath the gently lapping waves, he thought of the previous day's discourse. Sutta had spoken about the great Swayambhuva Manu's descendants, concluding with a brief description of his grandson Priyavata, who had attained self-realization. At Manu's request, he later became the emperor of the world. It had surprised Shanaka to hear this self-realization was life's aim. Why would one turn to material activities, especially as a king, surrounded by so much opulence? He was eager to hear the continuation of the story. He recited his mantra and came out of the water, again making his way to the great clearing where the sages were assembling. Taking his place next to Sutta, he waited as the excited assembly settled. When calm prevailed, Sutta spoke. O Brahmins, listen as I recite the history of Priyavata and his glorious descendants. Parikshit looked up at the setting sun. He had been hearing continuously from Shukadev for 24 hours. The naked sea sat peacefully before him, looking as fresh and effulgent as when he had first appeared before the king the previous afternoon. The king looked around at the vast audience of mystics, yogis, and ascetics who had assembled to hear Shukadev instructing. On learning that the great devotee monarch had been cursed to die in 7 days,
I urge you to note the naked sage sat peacefully before him, looking as fresh and effulgent. This is so interesting. In a normal society, we say, no, you have to be like that and you have to be like this. Why this Mataji is dressed like that? Why this? We have kind of often judgmental opinion about people. But if you look at the greatest of devotees, Mahadev, he's not wearing dhoti and tilak and shaved up and so sometimes and sometimes we see people maybe really shaved up, dhoti, sari, covering their heads and everything, and then when you come to know their trauma and their behavior and their issues, we're shocked at times. So again, who was the greatest, who was everybody willing to listen from? The naked sage. So this is a very important point for us to remember. Do not judge people by their external appearance. We do not know their depth and their bhakti and their, we don't know their relation with Krishna. Somebody else likes to take over a little bit? We have a few minutes. Nitya Kishori, you want to read?
Yeah, yes, Mataji. From where I have to read?
Yeah, this page.
They had
from all parts of
okay. They had came from all parts of the universe to help him attain the supreme destination. Even the celestial sages had joined the 60,000 other attendees to hear the conversation between the king and his youthful spiritual master. They listened in respectful silence as Shukdeva narrated the Srimad Bhagavatam. Everyone was keen to learn more about Priyavrata. Parikshit said, Great sage, the mission of human life is to reawaken our eternal spiritual relationship with Krishna. Family life undermines this quest for self realization because it keeps us trapped in the bodily conception and absorbed in selfish work, which binds us in a network of karmic reactions. Why then did the spiritually advanced Priyavrata become a householder and remain in that position for so long? A person experiencing the bliss of devotional service to Krishna is free of material desires. Such great souls are satisfied serving Krishna. It is impossible for family relationships to attract them. It is equally not possible for one attached to wife, children, and home to achieve the topmost infallible perfection of Krishna consciousness. For these reasons, I am perplexed why King Priyavrata took to family life after achieving self realization. Both of your propositions are true, said Shukdeva. Liberated devotees relish the glories of Lord Krishna, who exalted persons like Lord Brahma always praise. However, something may temporarily check their advancement. Despite this, they never lose their attraction for Krishna. What could arrest a liberated devotee's advancement? Asked Parikshit. Shukdeva said, there are two kinds of impediments to devotional service. The first is an offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. Since Krishna consciousness is eternal, it is never destroyed. But offenses to a devotee may stall one's progress for some time. The second type of impediment is due to Krishna's desire. This occurred in Priyavrata's case. Listen as I describe what happened. Priyavrata's teacher pulled him aside. Your studies are complete. Tomorrow, your father's chief minister will come to take you home. As the eldest son, you must prepare to inherit your father's kingdom. Priyavrata raised his eyebrows. But I wish to continue with my study of the Vedas. His teacher walked away. The matter is settled. This is the emperor's command. Have your belongings packed up by tomorrow noon. That night, Priyavrata crept into his younger brother's room. Uttanpada. Uttanpada, wake up. Uttanpada sat up. What is it? Is there any danger? You will wake everyone up. There is no danger. I just wanted to let you know I am leaving.
Ooh, surprise. The episode ends here. Please come back tomorrow to see what happens next. Thank you very much. And yeah, I frankly also thought, why did King Priyavrata, why did he enter family life? I did also think like that. Okay, so yeah, suspense for tomorrow. Thank you very much. And Rasastali Mataji, ready for our affirmations to save our consciousness for today?
Yes. Affirmation 16. My beads are my connection with Krishna and my ticket back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada wrote to Giriraj Swami, your beads are your connection to Krishna. Prabhupada also said 16 rounds is your ticket back to Godhead. On one occasion, he told Trivirka Swami that chanting is the essence of our philosophy. And he told Hansadutta Prabhu that the purpose of reading his books is to bring us on to the stage of pure chanting. Still, we sometimes forget how important chanting is. Obviously, japa is essentially important because it is the only activity we vow to do when we take initiation. We vow not to do 4 things and vow to do 1 thing. In Kali Yuga, chanting is the most important process in devotional service. So, if we don't give priority to our chanting, then our spiritual life will suffer. One of the purpose of the japa retreats and japa workshops is to inspire devotees to give more importance to that japa. When we give more importance to our chanting naturally improves. Sometimes we see that devotees go to a japa workshop, but a few weeks the importance they give to the holy name diminishes. Even though they learned much, they can easily revert to their former ways of chanting if they don't make japa a priority. This is because what we give importance to is what we do well. If we don't give importance to our relationships, we probably won't have good relationships. If we don't give importance to earning money, we probably won't have much money. If we don't give importance to our health, we probably won't be in really good shape. And if we don't give importance to japa, our japa probably won't be very good. If we give more importance to our japa, it will naturally improve. The purpose of this affirmation is to remind us or to make us aware that japa is the most important activity of our day, of all the rules and regulations given to us. Srila Prabhupada said that chanting 16 rounds is the most essential, and all the other processes are contained within our japa. Thus, japa is something we never want to minimize, something that must always be given the highest priority. Hare Krishna.
Harinam Sankirtan ki jai.
Jai.
Tulasi beads ki jai. Let's
Jai.
I
take it.
like this point where it is written that he took vow of chanting the holy name. One thing to do and four thing to not to do. Others, like people are emphasizing, because this is the 99% of our spiritual life. The 1%, whatever we other things we do, like reading, distributing, seva, whatever it is, deity worship. 99 is our chanting.
My God.
But that 1% is also necessary to make that 99 happen.
Yes.
That's also true. That's
So
true.
very important.
I like the affirmation that a couple of days ago, right? It was about to prioritize japa, that you don't begin your day unless the japa is done. That really helped me, like, to practically do that, because I like, my room is upstairs and my kitchen and my deity room and everything is downstairs. So usually I would get into the cleaning the altar and things like that. But then after I came back from Jagannath Puri, I was feeling this, and then after that affirmation Mataji read, I thought the good idea is to not go downstairs until I'm done with 16 rounds, like that. Mm.
With
And
me happened differently. I,
I mean,
I
you are
used to
you are this super mom. It's not right now. No, wait for a few years, then you can do it.
before coming to this classes